Hi there, I'm Shane Spiers and welcome to another edition of the Performance Brief where we give you one breakthrough business idea in just 5 minutes. My guest today is Graham Wilson. Graham, a very warm welcome. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm absolutely fantastic. Really looking forward to sharing my ideas and thoughts.
Brilliant. For those of you that don't know him, Graham is on a mission to awaken possibility in leaders and teams to deliver extraordinary results. He is the go-to person for leadership development and described as the UK's #1 leadership trainer. He is trusted by many global brands and some of the most successful CEOs in the UK and internationally. He has started a leadership revolution and he wants the world to join him. Through his award-winning business, Success Factory, Graham has been at the forefront of leadership development, imparting his wisdom for over 25 years. Through a realistic and pragmatic approach, he makes the complex simple with his content, teaching methods and proven knowledge constantly evolving to adapt to our ever-changing world. So Graham, the title of our interview today is The New Leadership Manifesto. We have 5 minutes for the interview, so if you're ready, I'll start the clock.
I'm ready. Start the clock. Thank you, Shane. What a wonderful introduction. Thank you for that. I feel really humbled for that. So let me get into it. So leadership in 5 minutes, a great challenge. I think for me, really, three things. Why do we need to change the way we lead? What does great leadership look like? And then how do we develop as leaders, really? So I think for me, the first thing is I really believe that many organizations are overmanaged and underled. And that actually turns out into micromanagement, a lack of trust, over-reliance on managers within businesses to have all the answers. And I'm finding in today's world, with the pace of change being so fast, that is just too slow. It doesn't work, and there's lots of bottlenecks in organizations. So my quest really is to go out there and start to help leaders to understand that the rules of how you lead have changed, and the pace of change caused that. It's really difficult to actually learn faster than the pace of change now. So the fact that the way we lead has changed, and the challenge we have, of course, is we were educated for a world that doesn't exist anymore. So if I asked a question to a student, they'd work out the answer themselves, put their hand up and tell the teacher would then tell them they're right. So if we collaborated back at school, certainly in my day, we would have been told off and sent to the headmaster, and we were taught that collaboration is cheating. So we have this mindset and way of thinking that is actually irrelevant in today's world. So I set about my story to create a new manifesto, and I believe in today's world there's 10 key disciplines we need to focus on. So I'll go through those really quickly. I have obviously written a book around it, of course, 2 books really, one called Leadership Laid Bare, and this one is called The Leadership Manifesto, and it's a 20-minute, it's not 5 minutes, 20-minute read of what great leaders actually do. So I think the first thing really is getting clarity about what your role is. And I believe the role of a leader is to create a high performance environment where success is inevitable. That's your job. That's what you're there to do. And when you drive home at night or come into work in the morning, you should be thinking about how you create the right culture, the right environment for success to happen. The second thing really is when you start to look at the purpose of leadership. So the second discipline is really being aware that your job really is to awaken possibility in people to deliver extraordinary results. So how many businesses have measures around confidence of their staff or levels of trust within the staff? And my background is military, and we did, we focused on that. And I think that's an important thing is how do I get the best out of people? How do I enable them to be more confident and be more successful in whatever role they're doing? So that's the second discipline. The third one really is operating from a set of principles, and again, these vary, but for me, my 3 principles for leadership are, number 1 is operating from a bold point of view. So boldness is really important, simplicity and speed. So speed doesn't mean really being busy. Speed often can be speeding up by slowing down and thinking more. So I think it's more about understanding about being efficient and effective. I think simplicity is about, businesses are too complicated, so let's just think about what we're about and simplify things. And boldness really is about having the courage to be right and to do what is right and being vulnerable. So I think that's really important. The fourth discipline really is about yourself and about being authentic. So striving to be 100% authentic, be yourself, understand who you are, understand other people, and having vitality and energy, because energy is really important. Leadership is all about the energy you transmit. So having that vitality and resiliency is really important. I think the other aspect then is about how you inspire action and create a compelling vision and be able to translate strategy with meaning. I think it's also about how you build a high performance teams. You're not relying on the away day. It's about how you have a process in place to develop teams. I think it's also about how you unleash innovation in your organizations. I think also in these today's world, we have to manage ambiguity and risk. And I think it's also about how you develop people, how you educate people, how you coach people, how you mentor people. And finally, I think really it's around how you drive for success, how you execute at pace. And I think when you start to think about those disciplines and start to reflect on them, I think it's very easy to get caught up into what many people call the hamster wheel, and we just get too busy.
Yeah.
And the final story for me is my dad used to race motorbikes and my uncle used to race cars. So as a young boy, my life was wonderful, and my grandmother had a sweet shop, so it's perfect. And I learned from my dad and my uncle is when they were racing, there was a trend when they reviewed. The trend was that they always lost a race when they're going too fast. Mm. Yeah, that's when they crashed and spun out. So I think for me, in today's world, to be an effective leader, we need to speed up by slowing down and really think about your behavior and think about the things that you should do. So that's it. That's leadership in 5 minutes.
Bang on time. Let me just capture for folks, for more resources from Graham, check out his website, www.thesuccessfactory.co.uk and /leadership athlete. Brilliant. Thank you, Graham.